Hey y'all, it's your girl Q and I am back with another video. No fancy edit, no fancy intro, just me and yapping. So today's video is gonna be about just showing up and the power of just showing up even if you have no results. Go ahead and subscribe if this is the type of content that you're interested in, and I hope that I can inspire at least one person today. So today I want to give you guys a few examples of the power of just showing up even without results, and I feel like this is a big part of manifestation as well. So for example, I started this company maybe like 5 years ago that is called QMF Agency, and in the very beginning of me starting that company, I remember I had a photographer friend and we were kind of like working together on a few projects with this activewear store that I had. And I remember being like, hey, okay, with this new company I started, QMF Agency, we should do like these big content development packages where we can sell people like social media content as well as just like posting on their page. And I remember being at his house and I started just sending out all these pitches to these major brands, right? And in the pitch, I was like putting like $2,000, $5,000 a month. And he was like, no one's gonna pay us $2,000 a month. No one's gonna pay us $5,000 a month. And eventually he ended up like falling off the project. Like he was like, no one's gonna pay us this. So, you know, he put his effort into other things. But on my side, I was still like, no, like I'm gonna keep showing up, like someone's gonna pay us this, right? There was really like no evidence that someone would pay us this. I just knew that I had value to give and that people needed the value. So I just kept pitching anyway. And fast forward to, I wanna say maybe like a year or two later, I started actually landing $4,000 contracts monthly, $2,000 contracts monthly. The exact thing that I was trying to get a couple years prior, it actually came to fruition. It didn't happen at that exact time, but I just kept showing up and I kept pitching and I kept going to networking events. And then I actually, early on into me landing these contracts, I ended up even doing a contract with Google for startups, which is crazy because I know people who had been in the field way longer than me. And I was the one that got the opportunity. Why? Because I kept showing up. I remember I would just go to all these networking events, and I went to this networking event and I was at the bar at the networking event having some wine, and there was this guy there having beer. We ended up just chatting about the things that we do. We were talking about personal life as well. And then he was like, well, you know, I work for Google and we're doing this program that I think that you would be an amazing fit to help do the content development for. Like, send over your website, your portfolio, and let's see if we can make it happen. I sent over all my portfolio and my information, and they ended up wanting to move forward with me. So I ended up landing this huge gig with Google just because I showed up to the opportunity. And now I want to give y'all one more example recently of why it's important to show up. So last year, 2024, things with that company that I was just telling you about, QMF Agency, things started going left with my company. Like, we didn't have that many contracts at the time. It was just moving really, really slow, right? So money just was not flowing in as fast as I was used to. So money was just dwindling. I had to start tapping into my savings. Like, my account was getting very, very low until it was pretty much just empty on both sides all around. Like, savings was empty, regular bank account was empty. And I was getting like one-off gigs for my company instead of monthly retainers. And those one-off gigs were literally barely keeping me afloat. Like, it was just enough to pay rent, just enough to have a little bit of food, but it wasn't really enough for me to like really like live how I was used to living. And throughout this time, I was trying to learn how to sell digital products, and I really wasn't doing a great job. Like, I was not selling any digital products. I want to say I sold like one or two digital products. So I literally had like made like, I don't even know, like $50 or something with the digital products. But I just kept showing up. I kept talking about selling digital products. Like I would tell my friends about it, like, oh, I'm working on selling digital products. I would do research. I'd look at what other people were doing. I started a Faceless account and I kept trying to post on that Faceless account. I started trying to post on my page about the digital products. I made a bunch of new digital products and I posted those. No one was paying for it. And I made a couple more digital products still, and I put them out. No results at all, right? So there's no evidence that I'm the person that should still be trying to sell these digital products. But when in doubt, I still kept going, right? So now fast forward, we've gotten to a point where my lease is up where I am, and I really wanted to move out the country. I don't know why. Like I just had this vision that I was like, okay, I want to move out the country. I want to go to Costa Rica. I want to be a digital nomad. Remind you, I don't have any money. So like me focusing on this is kind of absolutely crazy. Me being like, yeah, my lease is up, I'm gonna move out the country. So that was the plan. I was like, yep. I didn't really tell many people. I told one of my friends, I was just like, yeah, when my lease is up, I'm moving out the country. So now, boom, lease is up. I sold some of my stuff, so I had a little bit of money, but nowhere close to the amount of money that I would need to move out the country. And wait, let me back up a little bit. So before I had started selling my stuff and it was like time was dwindling down to when I was getting ready to move, I remember at this point, like, I didn't even have Wi-Fi in my house because I could not afford the Wi-Fi bill anymore. So I was driving to the library literally every single day, or driving all the way like 30-40 minutes away to my friend's house to do work on my computer trying to sell these digital products. Driving to the library every day trying to learn how to sell digital products when I had no results, no evidence that I should be putting this much effort into it. So every day I was doing that. Then I remember one night I stayed up like to 3 in the morning and I was just looking at my store, my stand store, and I was like, I need to make these look better. So I spent all night making new covers for the digital products, new titles, new everything for the products. And I was like, okay, this looks a lot better. Still knowing about the digital products. So now fast forward to now I'm like selling my stuff or whatever, and I have a little bit of money, but not enough money to move out the country. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go to my family's house and like sleep on their couch while I figure this out. So I drive 17 hours to my family's house to sleep on their couch, and I'm sleeping on their couch for a few days, and pretty much they are like super disappointed in me and they're crapping all over me because they're just like, we told you the business stuff wasn't gonna work out. We told you to get a real job. We told you. You know, people love saying I told you. In my opinion, I feel like people secretly want you to fail so they can feel better about not taking certain risks. So that they was feeling really, not, I don't want to say it was feeling good, but they was feeling like, yeah, like you should have listened to us and went down the same pathway as us. I felt so defeated, and their words stung so bad that it like lit this new fire in me that I was like, I have to get the out of here. And I remember I stayed up all day, all night for like 16, 18, 19 hours. I'm working on my computer. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm on a computer. As soon as I go to sleep, at night, I mean, I was barely even sleeping actually. Like I was staying up maybe till 1 or 2 and then waking up at like 5 or 6, and I'm back on the computer working on trying to sell these digital products. I'm still showing up for the digital products that no one is buying at all. And I worked like that, I want to say for about a week. A week I worked 18, 19 hours a day. My arms were hurting from working so much, like had to massage my arms. But I was locked in to figure out how to sell these digital products. And then boom, I had a breakthrough. I ended up making thousands of dollars in like 3 days after this week straight of, mind you, I mean, it was more than a week straight because I was been showing up for it, but there was only a week straight that I stayed up almost all day, every single day, working just on the products. I had a breakthrough. I made thousands of dollars in days. and I moved out the country. And now I have been country hopping for the last 5 months. I started in Dubai, then I went to Costa Rica, then I lived in Medellin, Colombia, and now I'm living here in Lima, Peru. I'm living here in Lima, Peru. All because I just kept showing up even when I had no results. So every time I start to doubt myself a little bit, or just not think positively, or feel like I'm in a rut or I'm stuck, I just look around and I'm like, everything around you is a product of your manifestation. Everything around you is a product of you continuing to show up no matter what, results or no results. So my message for you today, if you're still watching this, is even if you're getting no results right now, keep showing up. Keep showing up, because tomorrow could be the day you win. Now go ahead and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.